Hi, this is Barry here, and you are very, very welcome to today's podcast episode. Now, today I want to talk about letting go, just quitting something, just walking away from it and just saying, I can't do this anymore. Sometimes I know in my own case, maybe it's different for you, but in my own case, sometimes when I let go of something, when I quit doing something, sometimes I find it hard to do. Sometimes I would rather beat on a drum that isn't working than actually give up. Because sometimes when I give up, when I let that go, I feel that I'm a failure. And there's a couple of things I have dropped recently, and I kind of was thinking to myself, Barry, you're a bit of a failure. You couldn't get that thing to work. And I'm in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, if I work harder at it, if I keep driving, if I keep pushing on this closed door, I can eventually make it work. But what's the point of pushing on a closed door? What's the point of showing up, doing something that you know is not going to work, but you feel that if you show up, that eventually you're going to break through? So that's what I want to talk about today, because, there's a couple of things I've been doing recently that I have been trying to make work. Now, what I've been doing is I was doing a lot of kind of blog posts, and I was trying to do maybe 2 or 3 a day. And I was then putting that content on Buffer, and I was automating the whole series. Now, on Buffer, I think I was doing maybe 6 or 7 posts a day on Buffer, on Twitter. And what I was doing was, as I was just looking at the content going on Twitter each day, I was finding that, some of these blog posts were only getting shown in front of one person. And this had been going on for about a month or so. Now, I don't know if it's something that Elon Musk is doing or if just people don't like my content. I don't know. Maybe it's something I'm doing. I'm not too sure. But I was, throwing all this content into Buffer. Now, the content I was providing, it was great content. It's not that I was throwing some random crap and expecting people to pay attention to it. It actually was particularly good content. But it was going on Buffer, and I was just getting disheartened when I would look at the stats the next day. There was only maybe 1 view, 2 views, 3 views, and it was really getting disheartening. But in my head, I said to myself, Barry, you need to keep doing this. You need to keep throwing those links out there. Eventually, you're going to hit pay dirt. Something is going to perform well, and you need to keep doing it. And it was only when I was away on holiday last week, I was thinking to myself, Barry, there's a lot of things you're doing right now that just aren't working. And I was glad that I was away on holidays for a week, because I didn't have access to the internet, and it gave me a chance to think, a chance to read, a chance to get away from social media. And I was kind of thinking to myself, you're doing a lot of actions right now that are just a total waste of time. It's like you're a busy fool. And if you think that you're a busy fool, you are seeing that as being successful. But I wasn't being successful. I was just being a busy fool. I was just throwing stuff at the wall, hoping that something would work. I was sending a lot of emails out to people who just weren't worth my time. But I thought if I kept driving, kept banging and pounding on that closed door, that eventually I could make it work, and I could eventually get these people to take action, buy my products, or whatever I wanted them to do in the content in that. And in my head, as I was thinking about letting those things go, stop putting content on Twitter, because it's just a waste of my time. I don't know if it's something Elon's doing or what's going on, but why put content in a platform that no one's going to see? Again, I found in my Facebook group, I was putting content on there, and I was looking at the stats, and some of the posts were only seen by maybe 1 person or 2 people. And again, what is the point of going to a platform when you're only getting that content in front of 2 people? Now, there are a lot of people who are successful on Twitter and Facebook who would probably tell you need to show up constantly. You need to show up regularly. You need to show up again and again and again. But there's only so much that you can actually do before you just kind of say, what the hell is the point? If I didn't show up today, would anyone even notice? But in my head, I felt that if I gave up on those things, that I was a failure. And the more I kind of thought about it, I kind of, said to myself, Barry, are you really a failure because you're going to give up on these platforms? So you're just not going to put content on them anymore? And I realized that I'm not. Because what I've done, even though it's not working, is that I have built a good work ethic. I was showing up consistently, regularly, providing good content, automating it, doing all those different things. And I learned a lot about myself. Even though it didn't show up in my stats on Twitter or Facebook, I have grown as a person. I have, found that I can create content very quickly, very easily, and come up with a lot of ideas very, very easily because I have been working on that. I've kind of developed that muscle. And I'd say that to you as well too, that if there is something that you are doing that isn't working, if you feel that you're just pushing on a closed door, how about just stopping? How about just walking away from it and just saying, I gave it my best shot. Okay, it may be working for other people, but it's just not working for me. For whatever reason, whether it's the stars, whether it's the universe, whether it's something in the algorithm, something isn't set up for me. And I'd say to you that if you feel that stepping away right now, letting go, it means that you're a failure, it's not. Because you will find that even though, it didn't work out, there's a lot of things you've learned about yourself. You have probably built your consistency muscle. You have built an idea muscle. You have found something that doesn't work. So now you can put all that energy, all that experience, all that knowledge into another platform or into another industry or into another business or whatever it is. You can carry all that with you. So don't see things as, when you're letting go, when you're quitting, that you're a complete failure. You have now a lot of different things in your tool bag right now that you can take into your next business. And that's what I've been telling myself last week when I wasn't on the internet, that, what's the point of pushing on that closed door? What's the point of me just, getting angry with myself and, thinking that it's got something to do with me? It may be something to do with me, I don't know. But why should I keep putting myself through that? So what I've done is I have dropped Twitter. I have dropped Facebook. I have unsubscribed from my buffer subscription. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try different things out. And sometimes you need to try different things out. But don't feel that, because you're letting go, that you're a failure. You're not a failure. You've tried something, it didn't work. You probably have learned a lot of things from it. You've gained more experience. You've probably got out of your comfort zone. But you can take all that into the next attempt that you try. So bear that in mind. Even the best of us fail. Even the best of us need to let go of something. So let it go. Stop pushing on that closed door and try something new today. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.